So today we are going to see Cam 15 Test 2 Passage 3. So it's Cam 15 Test 2 Passage 3, Having a Laugh. So the findings of psychological scientists reveal the importance of humor. Humans start developing a sense of humor as early as 6 weeks old, when babies begin to laugh and smile in response to stimuli. Laughter is universal across all human cultures and even exists in some form in rats, chimps, and bonobos. Like other human emotions and expressions, laughter and humor provide psychological scientists with rich resources for studying human psychology, ranging from the development of language to the neuroscience of social perception. Theories focusing on the evolution of laughter point to it as an important adaptation for social communication. Take, for example, the recorded laughter in TV comedy shows. Back in 1950, US sound engineer Charlie Dowles hated dealing with the unpredictable laughter of live audiences, so started recording his own laugh tracks. These were intended to help people at home feel like they were in social situations such as a crowded theater. Dowles even recorded various types of laughter as well as mixtures of laughter from men, women, and children. In doing so, he picked up on a quality of laughter that is now interesting researcher. A simple haha communicates a remarkable amount of socially relevant information. In one study conducted in 2016, samples of laughter from Paris of English speaking students were recorded at the University of California, Santa Cruz. A team made up of more than 30 psychological scientists, anthropologists, and biologists then played these recordings to listeners from 24 diverse societies from indigenous tribes in New Guinea to city dwellers in India and Europe. Participants were asked whether they thought the people laughing were friends or strangers. On average, the results were remarkably consistent worldwide. People's guesses were correct approximately 60% of the time. Researchers have also found that different types of laughter serve as a codes to complex human social hierarchies. A team led by Christopher Ovis from the University of California, San Diego, found that high status individuals had different laughs from low status individuals, and that strangers' judgments of an individual's social status were influenced by the dominant or submissive quality of their laughter. In their study, 48 male college students were randomly assigned to groups of four, with each group composed of two low status members who had just joined their college fraternity group and two high status members, older students who had been active in the fraternity for at least 2 years. Laughter was recorded as each student took a turn at being teased by the others, involving the use of mildly insulting nicknames. Analysis revealed that, as expected, high status individuals produced more dominant laughs and fewer submissive laughs relative to the lower status individuals. Meanwhile, low status individuals were more likely to change their laughter based on their position of power. That is, the newcomers produced more dominant laughs when they were in the powerful role of teasers. Dominant laughter was higher in pitch, louder, and more variable in tone than submissive laughter. A random group of volunteers then listed to an equal number of dominant and submissive laughs from both the high and low status individuals and were asked to estimate the social status of the laughter. In line with predictions, laughers producing dominant laughs were perceived to be significantly higher in status than laughers producing submissive laughs. This was particularly true for low status individuals who were rated as significantly higher in status when displaying a dominant versus submissive laugh. Ovis and colleagues note, thus, by strategically displaying more dominant laughter when the context allows, low status individuals may achieve higher status in the eyes of others. However, high status individuals were rated as high status whether they produced their natural dominant laugh or tried to do a submissive one. Another study conducted by David Cheng and Lu Wang of Australian National University was based on the hypothesis that humor might provide a respite from tedious situations in the workplace. This mental break might facilitate the replenishment of mental resources. To test this theory, the researchers recruited 74 business students ostensibly for an experiment on perception. First, the students performed a tedious task in which they had to cross out every instance of the letter E over 2 pages of text. The students then were randomly assigned to watch a video clip eliciting either humor, contentment, or neutral feelings. Some watched a clip of BBC comedy Mr. Bean, others a relaxing scene with dolphins swimming in the ocean, and others a factual video about the management profession. The students then completed a task requiring a persistence in which they were asked to guess the potential performance of employees based on provided profiles and were told that making 10 correct assessments in a row would lead to a win. However, the software was programmed such that it was nearly impossible to achieve 10 consecutive correct answers. Participants were allowed to quit the task at any point. Students who had watched the Mr. Bean video ended up spending significantly more time working on the task, making twice as many predictions as the other two groups. Chen and Wang then replicated these results in a second study during which they had participants complete long multiplication questions by hand. Again, participants who watched the humorous video spent significantly more time working on this tedious task and completed more questions correctly than did the students in either of the other groups. Although humor has been found to help relieve stress and facilitate social relationships, the traditional view of task performance implies that individuals should avoid things such as humor that may distract them from the accomplishment of task goals. Chen and Wang conclude, we suggest that humor is not only enjoyable but more importantly energizing. So with this, we go to the question 27 to 31, which is a multiple choice question. So for these types of questions, who have big problems finding out the understanding the reading answers in the module. So I hope I would guide you in the best way without any trouble. So 27, when referring to laughter in the first paragraph, the writer emphasizes. So again, I go to the first paragraph. So as I see from here, laughter and humor provide psychological scientists with rich resources for studying human psychology, ranging from the development of language to the neuroscience of social perception. So this is what I will gain from the first paragraph. So I go with the options. So its value to scientific research. Question 28. What does the writer suggest about Charlie Dowless? So again, I go to the paragraph 2. So back in 1950, US sound engineer Charlie Dowless hated dealing with the unpredictable laughter of live audiences. So started recording his own laugh tracks. These were intended to help people a home-like feel when they are in the social situation. So again, I go to the options. The correct option will be A. He understood the importance of enjoying humor in a group setting. What makes the Santa Cruz study particularly significant? So again, I go to the passage. So here Santa Cruz is my keyword. So, English speaking students were recorded at the University of California, Santa Cruz. A team made up of more than 30 psychological scientists, anthropologists, and biologists played these recordings to the listeners from 24 diverse societies and indigenous tribes in New Guinea to city dwellers in India and Europe. So, on average, the results were remarkably consistent. People guesses were approximately correct at 60% of time. So, the correct option will be B. The similar results produced a wide range of cultures. Which of the following happened in San Diego study? So, again, I go to the fourth paragraph. Laughter was recorded as each student took a turn at being teased by others, involving the use of mildly insulting nicknames. So, each student took a turn at being by the others. Participants exchanged their roles. I go with option B. In fifth paragraph, what did the result of the San Diego study suggest? Thus, by strategically displaying more dominant loves when the context allows, low status may achieve higher status in the eyes of others. Higher status individuals rated as high status, whether they produce their natural dominant love or try to do a submissive one. So here the high status individuals are rated as high status, whether they produced their natural dominant love or tried to do the submissive one. So the high status individuals can always be identified by their way of laughing. So it's option D. Always be identified by their way of laughing. So the benefits of humor. So the benefits of humor. In one study at Australian National University, randomly chosen groups of participants were shown one of three videos were designed to generate a different kind of dash. So it's summary completion. So again, I go to the passage. The students were randomly assigned watch a video clip eliciting either humor, contentment, or neutral feelings. Some watched a clip of BBC comedy Mr. Bean, others relaxing a scene with dolphins swimming in the ocean, and others a factual video about the management profession. So some watched a BBC comedy Mr. Bean, others relaxing scene with dolphins swimming in the ocean, and a factual video about the management profession. Participants were shown one of the three videos, either humor, contentment, or neutral feelings. So all these suggest the word emotion, right? So different kinds of emotion. So I go with answer emotion, which is F. And again, when all participants were given a deliberately frustrating task to do it, was found that those who had watched the dash video persisted with the task for longer and tried harder to accomplish the task than either of the other two groups. So again, I go to the passage. So students who has watched Mr. Bean video ended up spending significantly more time working on the task, making twice as many predictions as other two groups. So the task requiring persistence, a deliberately frustrating task. So it is amusing. I go with the word amusing, that is H. A second study in which participants were asked to perform a particularly dash task produced similar results. So in paragraph 8, the author mentions the second study. Cheng and Wang replicated this results in a second study, during which they had participants complete long multiplication questions by hand. Again, participants who watched the humorous video spent significantly more time working on this tedious task and completed more questions correctly than did the students in either of the other groups. So, participants complete long multiplication questions by hand, and that is asked to perform particularly boring task, tedious task, boring, who watched the humorous video completed more questions correctly. So the answer is C, boring. Okay. According to researchers David Cheng and Lu Wang, these findings suggest the humor not only reduces dash, helps build social connections, but it may also have a dash effect on the body and mind. So again, when I go through the passage, we do have anxiety and stimulating. Reduces the anxiety and stimulating effect on the body and mind. 37 to 40 is yes or no not given. So participants in the Santa Cruz study were no more accurate at identifying the laughs of friends than those of strangers. So this is found in paragraph 3. So in this paragraph, whether they thought the people were laughing, friends or strangers, on average, the results were remarkably consistent. Worldwide, people's guesses were correct approximately 60% of the time. So these lines clarify whether the participants were accurate. So the answer is not given. The researchers in the San Diego study were correct in their predictions regarding the behavior of the high status individuals. So again, this line, the writer talks about predicted results of San Diego study. Analysis revealed as expected, high status individual produced more dominant loves and fewer submissive loves. So as expected is as predicted. This means researchers were correct in the predictions about high status individuals, which means yes. Participants in the Australian National University were given a fixed amount of time to complete the task, focusing on employee profiles. So this is on employee profiles of Australian National University in paragraph 7. Participants were allowed to quit the task at any point. This means no fixed time to complete the task, which means no. And Cheng and Wang's conclusions were in line with established notions regarding task performance. So, in the final paragraph, author mentions although humor has been found to help relieve stress and facilitate social relationship, traditional view of the task performance implies that individuals should avoid things such as humor and may distract them from the accomplishment of the task goals. So the answer is no. So I hope you're able to understand the passage. So with this, we'll end up the session here. Thank you.